Let's listen to Uncle Numbnuts on 9/11. Let's listen to what he had to say about it. Listen to this fucking idiot, man.
There was nobody in our government, at least, and I don't think the prior government that could envision flying airplanes into buildings.
Harris's diary also detailed ideas about hijacking an airplane and crashing it into New York City. Some may characterize that as fantasy.
True Seeker, so what that clip right there was from the Columbine, which was another government propaganda hoax. If you don't think Columbine was a hoax, look at what those two boys are accused of doing. They're accused of planting hundreds of pounds of explosives on their campus in the streets of Littleton. No way. Government operation. Take the time to watch the 1-hour surveillance footage and you'll see that there's men walking around in white shirts and khakis while the shooting's going on. I mean, what's going on? Major hoax. That's all this government does. Hoax us, scare us, intimidate us, tell us we need new laws, less liberties. Wake up, sheeple. Dylan Klebold was born on September 11th. I have a video on what a hoax Columbine was. I was still in high school when that happened. I ended up doing a lot of detention time after that shooting because we had a new policy at our school. We had to wear name badges to keep us safe. And what it was like for me was walking down the hallway and, the security guard would go, "Hey, Hubbard, where's your name tag?" And I'd say, "Fuck you." And he'd say, "Hubbard, detention." I've always hated authority, Truth Seeker. It's why I am who I am. I've always seen through the bullshit. I've always hated to have to put up with all the bullshit we go through in this society. Go to school to get taught by fucking retards that don't know anything themselves. Just read this bullshit out of history books that obviously isn't true. Yeah, George... Oh, God, don't even get me started. This nation began with the genocide. We live in a sick fucking place and people need to wake the fuck up. Also, with regards to 9/11, there were no planes. Something else people need to wake up to. No plane parts at the Pentagon. No planes in Pennsylvania where Flight 93 of 33 passengers crashed and left a hole in the ground. If you watch the mainstream coverage from that day, there's news anchors saying things like, "People are theorizing that the plane was going so fast that it buried itself underground." I mean, since when? And of course, in New York, the planes just melted into the building. Something impossible, because wings cannot go through steel and concrete. If planes hit the World Trade Centers, the wings would have been down on the streets below. Instead, we saw these massive gaping holes almost the length of the building, which was huge, and we're supposed to believe that the wings cut through like that. Only if you're fucking retarded, which the majority of the people in this nation are. If you've never seen this footage before, here's the footage of the building exploding with no plane. Thank you for the person who made this video. We're also going to watch the opening where Bush is in the classroom watching a very suspicious elementary lesson while 9/11's going on. Check this out. Now you just saw the last one, right? The building exploding with no plane. Now watch this in slow motion, what they showed us on the news. A plane could never melt into a building like this. It was an explosion with the... If you don't get it, they were explosions planted. They did the CGI of the plane over it. We live in the time of special effects. That's what we got hit with on 2001. It's why the sky is all washed out. I have another video on this, an hour long, where I go into greater depth of the plane, the CGI. You can check that out. I'll link it in the description.
Chantel. Let's see. Natalia. Robert. Get ready to read all these words on this page without making a mistake. Look at the letter at the end and remember the sound it makes. Get ready. Kite. Yes, kite. Get ready to read this word the fast way. Get ready. Kid. Yes, kid. Sound it out. Get ready. Kid. Sound it out. Get ready. Kid. What word? Kid. Yes, kid. Boys and girls, sound this word out. Get ready. Steal. What word? Steal. Yes, steal. Read these words the fast way. Get ready. Play. Yes, playing. Get ready. Must. Yes, must. Let's read these words the fast way without making a mistake. Get ready. Kite. Yes, kite. Get ready. Kit. Yes, kit. Get ready. Steal. Yes, steal. Get ready. Play. Yes, playing. Get ready. Must. Yes, must. Boys and girls, pick your reader up from under your seat. Open your book up to lesson 60 on page 153.
Did you just hear that, Truth Seeker? Open up to your lesson, page 60, 153. None of this is arbitrary. The Freemasons have major ownership over the education system. Major ownership. All of this is staged and planned and part of the ritual. 60 is a number of conspiracy as well as 51. 153 is the number of the miraculous catch, a number quoted very often by the Freemasons. This is all part of the sick joke in the routine. I would love to find the kids who were in this classroom on that day.
Get ready. Yes, the pet goat. Fingers onto the first word of the story. Get ready to read the story the fast.
And of course, they're reading The Pet Goat. Him being in the classroom down in Florida with Jeb, it's all part of the sick routine, Truth Seeker. We got taken to school as a nation on that day. Now here's what I want to close out with. 9/11 Commissioner Bob Kerrey, former congressman, former governor. He has a video, another one that I'm not about to show you, where he's giving a speech in front of a group of people and someone yells out at him, "How do you sleep at night?" And he said, "Hey, who said I do sleep at night?" Essentially admitting his guilt in regards to what he knows about the truth of 9/11. Here is an independent journalist catching him off guard and asking him some questions. Listen to this.
Why didn't they talk about Building 7 in the report?
If you didn't hear the question, he asked, why didn't they talk about Building 7 in the report, referring to the 9/11 Commission report? They left out Building 7, the third building to fall that fell 8 hours later in the day, that the mainstream media slipped up and announced it had fallen 30 minutes before it did fall. And there was no reason for it to fall because it wasn't damaged by the attacks. Yet it fell down like a demolition, just like the two bigger buildings earlier in the day. Something all the sheeple should have seen through from day one. There was no reason for the buildings to fall down as they did. The story of the steel getting too hot and it collapsing, I mean, that's just bullshit that only applies to weak-minded people who don't have a fucking clue about anything.
Why do you think that was?
I don't have an easy answer for it. I would ask it.
Can you see this medical thing right now?
Yeah. Anyway, thank you.
Do you support a criminal investigation into 9/11? Because I know yours was an exposition. It was not a criminal investigation.
I don't think so, but I don't know. I mean, I do support a permanent commission to examine not just that, but lots of other things in this area.
But if it's a permanent cover-up, then it's. I mean, if it's an act of war and it's hiding things, which everyone on your commission knew that the Pentagon was changing their stories, lying to you, and it's a cover-up of an act of war, and under Article 3, Section 3 of the Constitution, it's treason. So unless we get to the very bottom of it, then we're still talking a treasonous exposition.
This is a longer conversation. I'm not sure this one you ever get to the bottom of it.
We have to, or we can't save our country, sir.
I don't think. Well, if that's the condition upon which we're going to be saving our country. Because the problem it's a 30-year-old conspiracy.
Did you just hear that? It's a 30-year-old conspiracy. And really, it's older than that. Like I said, those buildings were built 33 years earlier to fall down. Also, go back in history, look at the Lord of the Rings series, which got popular right after 2001. The second book in that series came out on 11/11, November 11th, called The Two Towers. All of this was foreshadowing what was to come. New York's the 11th state. The World Trade Centers were giant 11s in the New York skyline. 11's the most important number in numerology. The first plane to hit the building was Flight 11, supposedly hitting floors 93 through 99. The next plane, Flight 175, hit at 9:03 a.m. There was Flight 93 of 33 passengers. There was the 93 bombing. 93 is a number connecting to propaganda, also Saturn. And these Masons, they also worship Saturn.
I'm talking about 9/11.
That's what I'm talking about.
Oh, you are. You mean this?
Yeah. Anyway, I got it.
Okay, be well.
Okay, thanks.
See, Bob Kerrey dropping major clues. He's like, I am talking about 9/11. Over 30 years, you're never going to get to the bottom of it. Well, think again, because I've gotten to the bottom of it. We're at the bottom of the well. And if you wanted to ignore the truth, if you want to deny the truth, which I know so many of you do, then what you are is a fucking loser, a fucking fraud of a human being. You stand for nothing. You're everything that's wrong with this earth. I've talked to too many people like you since September 11th, because I've been speaking truth to power since that day, and I've gotten nothing but ridicule and insults and threats and everything for it. Because it's a nation of cowards who'd rather go with wrongdoing than stand up for what's right. And that needs to change ASAP. All right, until next time, Truth Seeker.